Hi everyone, Miss Johnson here, ready to give you an awesome math lesson. So let's get into it. We're going to be learning about equal parts. Equal parts. What is an equal part? Well, I have a perfect example. Here I have a cookie, Oreo cookie, everybody's favorite. If me and my friend Jessie wanted to share our chocolate Oreo cookie, we want to split it in equal parts so we get the same, or should I just give her a little baby piece? No, I want to share and I want to make sure we have the same amount and they're equal parts. So what I will do is cut my cookie in half. So now, So now I have two equal parts and they are cut right in half. So, okay, two equal parts, it's cut in half. So when things are cut right in half, it can be cut in half this way. It could be cut in half this way. It can even be cut in half this way. No matter which direction you cut it, if it's cut completely in half and you have two equal parts, that means they're the same size, then you would call them halves. So right now I have two halves and now I'm gonna eat one. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Delicious. That cookie was so good. So now that we know what equal parts and we have like a little idea of it, let's look at my piece of construction paper. This is a shape of a rectangle. Right now, I have a whole piece of paper. It's not cut in any pieces. It is one piece. When you have one piece that is not cut into any pieces, we call this a whole. So right now it's a whole, and now what I want to do is cut it in half. So I have two halves that are equal pieces. I can do that in many ways. I can cut it straight down the middle this way, straight down the middle, straight across the middle this way, or I can start from one corner to the other corner and cut it in half that way. But what I'm going to do is just cut it straight down the middle. Let me line up my corners to make sure it's even. And now what I have is two halves. I started off with a whole. Nothing was cut up into pieces. I cut it in half, and now I have two equal pieces, and I have two halves. Remember, when we cut it in half, it is a half. Next, you can cut it into one more part, fourths. Let me guess. If I'm cutting into fourths, is that going to be two pieces? No, fourths. Four pieces. Yes, four pieces. When I'm cutting anything into fourths, I'm going to make sure I have four equal pieces. It needs to be equal. They need to be the same size, just like our halves. Again, I have a whole piece. This is a whole right now. There's no pieces cut. And I'm now going to cut it into four equal parts. And I will call these fourths. So first, I will cut it in half. So I have two halves. And now I'm going to cut it again. So now I have four equal pieces, and these are all fourths because there's four pieces from my whole square that I started with. Four equal pieces. So what I have here is a board of examples of halves and fourths. On this side, I have halves. I have different shapes that, as you can see, no matter which way I cut them, they are cut directly in half and have two equal parts. On this side, I have my fourths. Each of these shapes are cut into 4 equal parts, making them fourths. All of these look equal. On my next board, I'm going to show you some examples of equal and unequal parts. As you can see on this side, I have halves and fourths, and they are all equally cut, so I can share them and everybody would have the same amount. On this side, these pieces aren't equal. If I were going to share these pieces, if they were pieces of candy, we would not get all the same amount because they are not cut into equal parts. So that is just an example of the different ways you can see unequal and equal parts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pictures of shapes that are equal and unequal, and you have to decide whether or not they're equal or unequal, just by giving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down as the video goes on.